How you doing today? Hey, I've done a couple of videos in over the past month or two, basically showing you how to avoid the Windows 10 nag application, which was that little thing that would show up down here with a little Windows symbol telling you to get Windows 10 today. Okay, and that's fine. But like I said, it should be your choice when you're going to upgrade to Windows 10 and not Microsoft's. That and kind of using your resources for their distribution is probably not the best way to do a new product launch, but that's here nor there. Anyway, here's the deal. If you've done everything I told you to do, getting rid of KB303, 3583, and not letting those updates happen, and getting rid of the GWX directory if it installed all that, then you probably didn't get the little notification, and even if you went ahead and installed the updates, chances are you still didn't get the little GWX icon in the bottom there that was prompting you to download your new fresh copy of Windows 10. All is not lost. As long as you were signed up as an insider, which means basically at some point you signed up with Windows and said, I want to get beta builds of new Microsoft products, you're in. You've got a copy. But since it's not going to be automatic, or maybe you're a little impatient, and considering that right now it's late in the day on launch day of July 29th, I'm going to show you how to kind of manually get the process started. So here we go. First thing is, you probably got an email, looks just like this one, and this email has some links in it, and it tells you where to go to get your goodies. And here it says if you have genuine, which you should have, genuine Windows 7 or 8, you go to the Microsoft download site. And that is going to take you here. Now, they're not just going to have an ISO or a .hd image or something like that here ready for you to put. What they're going to do is let you create a installation tool, and that tool, the media creation tool, can come with 32-bit or 64-bit versions. And with that tool, just as it says here, you can either create an ISO that's on like a DVD, or you can create a bootable USB. So, well, I'm not 100% sure it's bootable, but it'll have, at least it'll have the files on it and let you do the install. This is kind of the independent media, not waiting for the automatic update process to complete. So what I've done is I've already downloaded this tool. I got the 64-bit version since I'm running Windows 7 Ultimate 64. And that tool is right here, the Media Creation Tool 64. So I'm going to go ahead and open that, and I'll show you what happens. It has USB. Now I recommend you turn off anything that may be messing with your file system, like Dropbox or OneDrive or anything like that. I'd strongly recommend you do that. So I'm going to go ahead and let this thing start. Hopefully it does start. There it is. Okay, here's your two options. Upgrade PC Now, which basically is going to initiate the process everybody else got, which is you kind of wait for the download and let it do its thing and all that. What we're going to do is create media. So that's the option I'm going to choose here. So we'll go next. And it's going to ask you what the language is. Pick your edition. I should get Windows Pro. Don't get Pro N. Pro N is kind of like what Windows 7 Enterprise N was, which is like a stripped down version of Windows. No media capability whatsoever. It's real light. I guess if you want to try to make a live boot or live CD kind of image of it, it'd be okay, but that's not what we're going to do here. And I'm going to go for the 64-bit version. Okay. Now I've got a USB, an 8 gig USB flash drive ready to go for this. So that's all ready to go. I'm going to click next. And I'm going to say, yeah, I want a USB flash drive. And you see it needs to be at least 3 gig. The Windows 10 Home is like 3.5 gig and Pro is like 5. So you can do the ISO file if you want to make a DVD. I'm going to go ahead and do the flash drive option, which is, I think, a lot of people would. So go next. And Okay, it's finding this F drive. Let me make sure that's the correct drive. I've got an external plugged in. Yes, it is. So it's found that. Say next. And now what's going to happen is it's going to download the installation files and hopefully prepare that drive, and we can start installing Windows 10, hopefully professional. So there's been some discussion over things like licensing. This is Ultimate, which should technically be get me the equivalent rights to Pro. If you have Home, Windows 7 Home, Windows 8 Home, or any non-Pro or Ultimate version of Windows 7 or Windows 8, then you're going to end up with the Home version. Um, Hopefully I will not, but we shall see. Also, if you have an OEM version of Windows, whatever OEM that is, it will go to that as well. It'll be an OEM equivalent of Windows 10. What you should know, this is the free upgrade. It'll remain free for the next year. The Microsoft's announced prices for non-free versions, like when the year is up, or if you don't have a genuine copy to upgrade from. They're talking $129 for Home. They're talking $199 for Pro. Enterprise End, you're not going to be able to get unless you're a Microsoft Volume License customer. So there's that. Here's the thing with Windows 10. It's definitely a better OS. It's what Windows 8 should have been, which is what a lot of people say. It's brought back basically the 7 desktop with all the nice security underpinnings of 8. But you're also given something else. Nothing's free. You're allowing them a lot more access to your system. I strongly suggest you treat Windows 10 like you would treat a computer in an airport kiosk. Do stuff with it, work with it, but don't put anything on it that you're worried about anybody seeing. I'm not being paranoid. It's just a matter of you're giving up a lot. This is a sales platform for Microsoft. In fact, the notion that they're even planning on charging for an operating system in this day and age is kind of stupid, especially if you're trying to get everybody to use it. Giving it away free is one thing, but then suddenly saying you're going to have to pay for it is kind of, I don't know. But in any case, we're going to let this go ahead and continue to do its download, and we'll come back and check in on it when it's done, and then we're going to switch. The view you're going to see is probably going to be a little less, could be a little bit less attractive, mostly because I'm going to be upgrading this very machine right here that you see, and with all the bells and whistles and the goodies, with the VMware workstations and Afterburner and all these other little things up, just to see what happens. And yes, I have made a full bare metal image of this before I started, and I suggest you do the same. So I'm going to shut up now, and when we come back, hopefully this thing will be done. See you in a bit. Okay, we're back. So the whole process, download took about, on my connection, it took about maybe 10-15 minutes, and then about another 25-30 minutes for it to make my flash drive here. So it looks like we're pretty much ready to go with our flash drive. Mine's a USB 2.0, so that's part of why it was probably a little slower. This equipment's a little older. This is about a 5-year-old computer, so thus proving that Windows 10 does run on old crap. But anyway, I should say one thing here before we close out this particular session here. I'm going to split this up. So we're going to have the pre-install, and then we'll actually start going through the install. But here's the deal. I know I was saying a little earlier about how you're going to have to pay for Windows and all that. I don't want to cause any confusion here. If you get the upgrade today, if you download, you get it, it's activated, the whole 10 yards, you've got it. Nobody's going to ask another dime of you for Windows. My complaint is that they're actually trying to ask a dime of anybody at all at any time for it. But once you get this for the next year, it is free. Nobody's going to come at you. No one's going to take anything out of your bank account, nothing like that. It's free. The only people who it's not going to be free for right now are people who A, choose to go buy it separately, or people who don't have legitimate copy and again have to go buy a copy separately. And right now those prices as they've announced them are $129 for home and $199 for pro. It's pretty much how it breaks down. So let's click finish and see what happens there. Okay, kind of anticlimactic. I think all it's doing, all it did was really just make media. Let's check the drive. Okay, 4.5 of 7.6 gigs. So it looks like, hopefully I've got the correct version. Well, that's going to change the whole tone of this video. There we go. Okay, it looks like it used 3.3, so I'm not sure if it gave me the right version or not. But we'll find out. All we know is we have it. Looks like it's an auto boot too. Yep, looks it's got an auto run system. So yes, this is a bootable USB. You see auto run and boot manager and all that. That's a bootable, which means you could theoretically load this thing on a bare drive. But we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it differently. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll look for the next video where we actually start doing the install. With that, I'm out. Bye.